Hey, 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 what's up? Welcome. Episode 67 of the Angel Channel. I'm really happy to have everybody with us tonight. Hey, Grace, as always love to have your energy. Debbie O, welcome, welcome, welcome from Texas. There you go. Lone Star. Um, Man, it has been a crazy and whacked out week for me. And the best thing of last week was our energy, our golden energy, healing energy. I felt so good after that night, and I got a great night's sleep. The next morning, I woke up just feeling like $1 million, and it was really profound and like, wow, that turned out really good. And then Mercury retrograde showed up with a baseball bat and decided to like play havoc, and it's just been really the quintessential example of what Mercury retrograde is all about. Astrologically, there's crazy stuff going on. It's not just Mercury that is in retrograde, which affects communication and easy flow of stuff. And as well, Venus is in retrograde also, which is the energy of your social connections and your relationships. And so you have this kind of double whammy of communication stuff being kind of screwed up already with Mercury retrograde, and then Venus, who usually shows up to give you your sparkly self and let you make an impression, like nowhere to be seen. So I'm really happy for those configurations to be gone. And there's been a really way intense energy in the energetic sea has been so turbulent, man. Just huge, enormous waves. I jokingly wrote out this morning in some of my messages, man, I'm just staying at the dock, man. I'm not even trying to go out there. And as it turns out, there was a massive um, solar ejection like about 2 days ago, and luckily solar mass ejection. It was huge, and like the kind that they talk about being like earth killers, and luckily it was pointed in another direction, but that spews out in all different directions. And absolutely, I believe that's kind of affecting things on top of that too. So woohoo. And not to mention that on the new moon just a few days ago, and a partial solar eclipse. So the ocean is just raging with waves. So keep a good sense of humor. Double check your communications. Make sure that you're double checking your listening and paying attention to what you're reading, and keep a good sense of humor, man. And when you see it screwing up, just kind of laugh, shake your head, laugh, and go on about your business, because it'll be over before we know it, man. Time's flying like a locomotive. Before I get cruising much more, I want to thank, as always, our sponsor and uh, support crew at Fried Okra Entertainment. Badass filmmakers, advertising people. So give Ernie a call, check them out, check out their work on friedokra.tv. And again, as always, thank you very much for your support. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. So I talked to a number of people who were calling and saying, "Man, what do I do?" And like going like next to kind of anxiety attack level now, just frenzied and all out in the wind. And so I got to asking them, "Well, are you doing your breathing exercises? How about the 4-4-4 box breathing?" I mean, the Rangers teach that to cadets and recruits to like chill themselves out in combat, man. So are you using that? Well, no. Are you doing any jitsu? Oh, no, didn't do that either. And like the 4 or 5 other things that we've talked about that are easy, ergonomic dude, the Shinsen Jitsu thing, being able to sit there and balance your fear zone just by sitting there and holding your finger for 10 minutes, it doesn't, there's nothing that could be simpler that actually does anything. So I just want to remind you, as the waves keep crashing around, to not let it build up, and don't let it become an overwhelming like thing, and use all the tools. And we're building up a pretty good toolbox of things that actually work with this. So just please, 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 Jinsen Jitsu for sure, man. It's the easiest thing ever. Worry, fear, anger, grief. Okay, so I'm super stoked and excited to have a friend of mine on. This is the first time we really got to like collab and do something cool. A really prolific deck creator and reader and all around magical soul, Arnie LAYTON. And we're going to be discussing, one of the things I know there's got a bunch of people out there that have mentioned, I really want to do my own deck. Oh man, I'd really like to do my own deck, but it's kind of a big undertaking. It was daunting to me for a long time, and I didn't start for a long time. As a matter of fact, having my teacher goad me into doing it, and doing one card was the way that got me into that. So we're going to discuss kind of how to get started, and talk about some ways to kind of organize it so it doesn't seem so overwhelming, and we'll do some readings and stuff. So without further ado, my friend Arnie.
How you doing, Brian? Hey, everybody.
I'm doing really good, man. How about yourself? Hey,
all right.
Where are you?
I'm from Queens, New York.
There you go. That's why you know Grace and Michael and those guys. Yeah. So I wanted to well, first of all, do you have a favorite deck of all time?
A favorite deck of all time for me, I guess, would be this one here that I did.
Yeah, is that one of your creations?
Yeah, Eternal Love and Light deck that I did. I got to put my glasses on. The retrograde is really killing me. Killing my eyesight and everything. So, but no, this is it's funny because in this deck also, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it, but after I created it, here is a mantis being. Here is a blue avian.
Nice.
So I'm trying to focus it. And there's also like an angel in the background. You'd have to make it like black and white on the deck, but someone pointed that out to me. But it's pretty cool how after the fact even that was brought to my attention.
I keep finding things. The angel deck, the tarot deck, my Wizard of Oz deck is like 12 years old now, and my angel deck is just shy of, or just a little over 10 years. And man, I keep finding new stuff in it all the time. I think that's the thing, when it has infinite layers, it's all really kind of super crazy. Yeah. And so you've got like 11 decks, right?
Actually 13, but there's just one thing I just want to say before we start. It's funny what you were mentioning about with the retrograde and with the solar flash, because I pulled 2 cards before we started. Messenger of light, the time is near for enlightenment. In a flash thy will be done. Awaken. So to me, that's saying that there's going to be a solar flash of sorts, and it's going to make people more aware.
Yeah, well, it's already happened a couple days ago. Major solar mass ejection, man. I'm just happy it was turned somewhere else. Because it's been, from what I heard of the things I read about it, it could have been like a world-changing event on every level. It's kind of scary that, like, at a moment's notice, boom. Makes
I
you
love
enjoy
that.
the moment, right?
Yeah.
So how long have you been reading?
I've been doing a daily poll every day on Facebook for about maybe 13 months now.
Cool. How do people find you on that?
On Facebook through my name, Arnie.
Arnie Layton? Yeah. Okay. And you do the Instagram thing and the TikTok and all that stuff
Yeah,
too?
I do Instagram. It's my website name is Send From Within, and I'm also on X, and I also have some stuff on Rumble that I put on.
What decks did you start reading with?
I never read before. That's the whole thing. About 3 years ago, I lost someone very close to me, and it brought out all the stuff that was in me from when I was younger. That was also kind of being blocked through trauma, I believe. And I mean, I'm very blessed. I met someone else, very happy. But within that, I started to look into more spiritual, and I would go to some classes and things like that. And through meditations, I started to get light codes, and I would also get the messages, and that's how I created this first deck. And this is the person that passed.
These decks are your own construction, right? Like you're not following any, like my first deck was kind of based off the structure of the Thoth deck because I'd read with that for 25 years. But these are all like just your own oracle.
Yeah. And it took a while. This was actually totally changed. It kind of looked a lot different. Initially, it wasn't sayings or anything. It was just like this. It was created in Lisa Fazio's class. She had an oracle. I wasn't even thinking of oracle. And I put this together. And then all of a sudden, with that, I started to get more of the light codes, and I started to get more of the sayings. And it totally changed into what this is. And the colors also are meant for healing, transmuting, and God's golden light coming through. And a lot of these symbols, I also use an 8x10 for tuning fork healing from that very first deck. But each deck came through meditation and just trusting. You have to trust. You have to trust in everything that comes.
That's true. And to be resolute along the way, because there were so many times it got a little overwhelming. I'm like, wow. I mean, how do you create your art?
Basically, it's through AI. I'll use AI. I'll do searches in AI of like some of the sayings and some of the things that I'm looking to create. And I'll take those images and then I morph them, or I'll edit them together through Photoshop. So that's pretty much how I do the artwork. And to actually create cards, it's very simple. You don't need, you just need basically a phone if you really want to just do basic, to take pictures. And pretty much you just need to know the proper size to make things. You need one of these. I don't know if I'm holding it straight or not. Just a rule board and a cutter to cut the papers, put them together, a $20 laminator, and boom, you're set to go. And also this little guy too, like an edger. So I basically do that. That's how, this was the last thing I just created. And it's an IM deck. So I'm waiting for these to be printed. But I also do my own, print for them.
What's the gloss? What's the gloss on there? Is that, it looks a little iridescent.
It's lamination.
Okay.
They're laminated papers. So I just laminate and then I corner cut. And this was all pictures I have of like the beach and all of that. So I love the beach, and I felt that would be the perfect setting for creating these.
Who do you one of the most difficult parts about it is like the actual printing process. Like, I had a studio printer was the name of them, and they would do like just one-offs or however many, and that worked out really good, but it wound up just increasing in price. And so I wound up going to China for the Yeah, for the Angel deck and the Wizard deck, and they were still really expensive, but they were, man, they did a great job, and they were worth it.
Yep. I use boardgamemaker.com. That's
What's it? Say that again.
boardgamemaker.com.
Boardgamemaker.com. All right, hold on one second. Let me put that in the chat.
That's from China. It's either Board Game Maker or Board Game Makers with an S. I'm not sure.
Okay, pick one.
Board Game Makers. Well, let me see if I can minimize. I could probably pull it up right here. BoardGameMaker.com. Makers.
Okay.
BoardGamesMaker.com.
Board games. Okay, hold on one second.
Yep.
All right. Awesome.
Actually, it's board. It's board. So it should be an R, not a Y.
See?
That's right.
God, dude. Now I'm all like, okay. Okay, I think we finally got it. There we go.
Okay.
Just want to say hey to Linda Martin out there. See you out in the ether. Yeah, we've got, hey, Diane, good to see you. Isabel, hello. Spectra, woohoo. Yeah, glad to see everybody show up. Arnie's going to be doing some readings here shortly. So if you want to get a reading, put your name down there in the chat, and we'll get to that momentarily. What's the hardest part? You know, your experience of doing them is so different than mine. Because I like read for 30 years before I made a deck of my own, and had read with the Toth deck for about 25 years. So, you know, and do you remember a site called Eclectic Tarot by any chance? It was a really, really great site that has since kind of like poofed out, but they were like a compendium of all the decks that were known at that time. And man, it was just a great place to go, like look around, and the crazy versions of the tarot, and then just versions of people's oracle decks just blew me away. And you know, so that kind of kept me from doing it for a long time, because like, what could I add to that? You know, and my teacher wound up like goading me into do it. Plus, you know, creating at least 78 images of original art's a little daunting. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a big commitment. And then when you, like, I don't know about, do you do manuals with your deck?
Initially, I had for the first, but I just felt like people need to use their own intuition, and they need to trust. I could basically guide them. I could tell them what it meant to me and what everything feels to me. But me picking up one deck and looking at it and what I feel, someone else is going to pick it up and make it feel something different. So I don't want to force a construct on them of what a deck should be. Let them feel what it should be for them.
So there are no like kind of, here's what this card means sort of connection?
No, basically almost all these decks, it's a progression of my healing. I know that. That's what a lot of these are for and meant for. But people will get different feeling, different message to themselves by looking at them and reading them.
Well, the reason I asked you that question is because I do manuals, as you well know.
Yes.
And
Very good.
that manual, man, you get to the end of the deck, and the deck alone is like a pretty huge thing. And then I'm like, wow, a manual. Which writing is not my favorite thing to do. I don't type. I like hunt and peck, and like as you can see, I couldn't even do a website address, man. So, like going through that, I have a good friend, Raphael Kamensky. He's been on the show a whole bunch of times, and we did a whole series of things. And he found the Wizard of Odd deck it was on Eclectic Tarot's site, and he found it on there, and we wound up connecting. And he was really instrumental, and like he was badass about finding errors. So he got that first deck, and man, it seemed like every day I was getting a little annoyed. Errata. But that made like the second version of it was just way better, and he was super integral in the Angel deck as well. Both of those decks for me, and I've got 3 more decks that I haven't printed yet. Each one of those was kind of like a personal initiation in a way for me. What was the experience of making those like for you?
When they were completed, a really good feeling.
Well, or during the course of it is when you like get the revelations.
The funny part is, I have no idea what it's going to be. Even now, I have 25 light codes. I have no idea what it's going to be. I'll start getting all these things together, and I'll start it at one point, and something will just tell me, no, it's got to be this direction, or no, these are meant for like this particular type of deck. Like I had that with this particular deck, the Nature's Elementals that I have, this one, the light codes that are here, I had when I did the other 3 decks, but I felt that these particular ones were meant to be left out, and they were just put aside. Then all of a sudden, I just started getting. It's kind of like synchronicities. You'll keep seeing the same thing over. I keep seeing unicorns, pictures of unicorns, the word unicorn, fairies, elves, all of that, and that was my telltale that okay, this is what this is supposed to be. So then I actually created that particular deck with that. And then the sayings at once I had the artwork, then I had all the sayings come. And it's a different sequence every time with each one of these things. I never know what's going to be what until it's done.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. So if you were going to give some advice to somebody that was thinking about doing their own deck, what would you tell them?
Trust everything that comes to you. Don't doubt. Don't have fear. Don't be afraid of what people will think when you put it out there.
Absolutely. Like, did you do your decks? Like, I didn't do my deck. My deck was not really intended for a release. I did that deck as like my own personal deck, and that was as far as my intention went with that at the beginning. So it was easy to kind of like get rid of that. But that's a really great point. If you're editing it while you're doing it, not going to work out.
No, it's you just got to have faith. You got to trust. Like I said, a lot of these things came to me through meditation. I would get the light codes. I would get them. I would get a bunch at once, and I couldn't remember what they were. I couldn't see them clearly what they were. And then further in meditation, they would come more and more and more. And I would just do that. And like the very first deck, it was strange because I got maybe half the light codes, and all of a sudden I started getting sayings. And I just journaled it. I had no idea what I was doing, if I was going to make anything out of it. Then when it was done, and I would look at I can't tell you exactly what these light codes mean, but I can tell you what they feel. And it was for healing, healing, healing. And I was getting healing with vibration, healing with vibration. So either speaking, reading these cards, or like I said, I use them with the sound forks. I have 8x10s made of them. And if I use it on someone, I'll intuitively feel which symbol to use. And then the sound is going to resonate. It's going to resonate the healing that they need.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the pragmatic part of it, do you have a process for how you actually produce the deck? Like go through, or one of my like things to tell people is just start with one card. Don't think about the whole deck. Just start with one card. And, yeah.
I just get a whole bunch of images, like I said, and I'll morph them together. And when it feels right, that image is done. This image is done. This image is done. Then which feels for which saying and which light code, then I would put that together. And then when I would have all the images and the actual image set up, and I would do all of this in Photoshop, then I would resize, because sometimes I would have to expand out and shrink down like the text, and that's so I know it would fit it on the actual like print that would come. And then I would upload things to that website, and I would always have a test print to see.
Speaking of website, can you share you sell your decks on your own personal site? Where can people get them?
Sendfromwithin.net.
Can you type that in the chat for me?
Am I able to? I'm not sure. Yeah, I can do that. I can do it here, right?
Yeah, right. Trusting me to do that would just be foolish at this point. I've been fascinated with oracles of all kinds. I've gone in lots of different directions: African stuff, German stuff, and I've kind of come to the unifying nut of it, that it doesn't really matter what you use. Like, I've made my own oracle things out of like a box of crayons, 64 crayons. I smashed pennies on the railroad tracks and how they bent and what they meant things. And it's kind of like you're just teaching your higher self a language in between. At least that's how it is for me. A language that then, once you assign a meaning to something, and that becomes gelled in your mind, and that goes back and forth, and that's what that meaning is. It doesn't really matter what anyone else had ever assigned to that meaning. So it's like understanding that an oracle could be anything, and that it's really you're teaching yourself to talk to yourself and listen.
That's why I pulled the booklets, for that exact reason, because I didn't want everyone to get the cards and try and follow a book. I wanted them to use their own, like I'm doing. Use your own tool.
That's such 180 degrees from the angel deck, because like I channeled those readings from an invocation and like automatic writing. So it's like such a different, like, right? Come to the same point from two different points. Kind of funny. Yeah.
But I mean, it's just the creative process. That was your creative process and how to express it. And it's going to be different for everybody else. And like you were saying too, you can take a picture of this, put a ribbon on it, and put a writing to it. And that can be your card. People, they can't be afraid to express themselves and to actually put out there what they feel and what they think something should be, because it may be something beautiful. So
when did you start doing personal readings?
I really don't do personal readings. I do the daily pull. but I can do, like I'll pull a card and I'll feel what I feel from that and go from there. But not everyone is a psychic. So, but, some people could read energy better than other people's, or some feel more comfortable. I'm in that process. I'm not quite there yet, but I put it this way: a year ago, I wouldn't even be doing a show. So,
I understand completely, because it was many, many years, like, just doing readings for myself and my immediate friends, that I would insist that I do a reading for them, and they'd sit through it, before you really just get comfortable, like, with the cards, the meaning of the cards. And, like, for me, those cards, they have meanings, but that meaning is just kind of like the key to the door. There's much more behind that. That's just like the little entry thing, and then based on what the energy is of the person that you're connected with, those messages could be anything, So, all right, let's see. Why don't we do a quick little sacred space, and do a little zero space meditation. And then if you would, if you feel up for it, you feel like fielding some readings. All right, awesome. Okay. Really intense energy tonight, man. The ocean is just so rough. Okay, we'll smooth it out, at least in here. With the brilliant light of the source, I banish and clean this space. I make this place pure. With the brilliant, radiant light of the source, I banish and clean this space. I make this place pure. With the radiant light of the source, I banish, clean this space, make this place pure. All right. We're going to get into right frame of mind on this. And, well, actually, before we do that, let me do the card of the week, the angel card of the week, before I screw up here. All right. This is angel card number 67. The angel of transformation to the sublime. Yes. So this card is all about raising energy, and I love the meaning of sublime, and just that whole world, that it's beyond perfection. All right, let's bring you up. Yeah, I am so slow tonight, man. Sorry. All right. You just never know when to say when. You have emotionally overextended yourself. You have a passionate nature and an infectious lust for life, but it has led to overindulgences to the point of burnout. You're tired, feeling drained, depleted, and emotionally ripped off. Start taking care of yourself. Yeah, that's right. Be friends to yourself, like that. We had that conversation today. Start taking care of yourself and meet your own needs rather than everyone else's needs and the wants to the detriment and exclusion of your own. You are so done. Oh, dude. Dissatisfied and disappointed. You want something completely new, yet you have no idea what. Find the courage now to retreat and heal yourself. Stay at the dock. Take time out to see to for take time out for yourself and go swim in the sea of light. Discover purpose that is worthy of your total commitment and dedication. Allow yourself to feel the blahs, rest, and you will renew. New ideas take root. People look to your strength and hope to anchor to. However, some people become so needy they draw your energy in one direction without exchange of energy in return. You feel manipulated, used, and drained. Move away from this psychic drain. Care for your own needs. Yeah. You know, these guys, like, you would think that those readings would be, they'd wear out. But after 10 years, they're still just like so, and you know, the general words of wisdom readings are super cool and they do that. But like when you have a really specific question, like, I want to know about this, like the percentage of times that the very first line or very first few words are exactly the answer. Like I didn't need to read anything else. It's really super crazy. All right, let's go down to blank space. Yeah. Hi, Anga, Mary Jo. Good to see you. Nance, what's up? All right, everybody, get centered here. We're going to do some blank space breathing. All right, I want you to take a super deep breath. Use your solar plexus. Draw in through your nose and let that energy be bright white light, bright white healing light. Okay. And as we slowly exhale slowly and release. And as you're releasing, it just imagine yourself being a machine that just got turned off. And everything gets kind of like focal pointed down and you're sinking down really deep. And when your breath runs out and we stop and I say silence, don't take a breath immediately. Just stay there in limbo, in silence, in blank. No thoughts. Let your, it's like you could be a puppet and cut the strings on the puppet and let your whole body just super relax. Okay. All right. So here we go. We're going to do 3 of these. Inhale. In through the nose. Use your solar plexus. Super pack it in much as you can and release, turning off the machine. Relax your body, no tension. Release your thoughts, no mind. Deeper silence. Inhale. Really draw it in. Beautiful white light. When you're full, put some more. And release. Going deeper. Down into the silence. No mind, no thoughts, silence. All right, one more. Inhale. And release. Going deep into the silence. Deeper, deeper silence. Okay. Yummy. I love that space. I could stay there all day. All right. Let's see who's on board right now. Okay. I think Debbie O is first up. She would love a message.
Okay. If Debbie O could type in, what does she feel connected to? Elementals? Angels?
Yeah, it takes a second to for her to get through. Well, we'll get everybody else started too while that's happening.
I see she's got angels, so I'm going to pull from my angel note deck.
Okay.
Message for Debbie. Okay, this one popped out. Okay, so this particular one popped out, 1212. And it's embrace the guidance of your guardian angels. Stay positive and trust in the divine plan unfolding for you. Balance, growth, and strength. So have you been seeing this number or numbers somewhat? Synchronized numbers? Just curious. And just trust in you. Trust in everything around you. Have more faith in yourself. That's what I feel from this.
So Spectra, same question for you. Let's see here. And Shelby, would you type in the chat what you're connected to so Arnie can connect? Debbie says, yes, she's been seeing those numbers. And Nancy, the same thing. Type down in the chat what you're connected to. Is it angels? What are you connected to? Is it a subject? Could be a question about something.
You mentioned Spectra, right? As one of them?
Yes.
Okay, I see Spectra has elements of fire and air. So with fire and air, I feel dragon energy. So let's see. Message from Spectra. Oh. Spectra, are you with anybody? Because if you're not, you may be meeting your twin flame.
Yeah. Okay, we'll let Spectra clue in there. Shelby sent, I am open to all spirit, but angels more.
Angels more. Okay. Go back to that deck again. The angel numbers. Message Michelle. Message Michelle. So this is what came up for you, Shelby. 999.
Crazy number.
Completion and new beginnings, embracing change and challenges in relationships and career. Stand in reflection and growth. So if there's anything going on as far as work or anything like that, you're going to be completing projects. You're going to be completing a phase in your life, I feel. It's coming up real soon.
Awesome. So Nancy is most connected to angels.
Okay. I'm going to go back to that one again. Nancy. Okay. You got 143. So you were divinely guided and supported in your spiritual journey. Your angels are urging you to trust the path you are on and embrace your spiritual gifts in connecting to the higher realms. So believe in what's coming to you and what you're feeling.
That's a good reading for her. Yeah, for sure.
Inspector, haha, yes, you do have dragon energy with you. You have fire, but you have dragon energy too.
Yeah. Spectre's funny. Okay. We have a friend, Diane, who would like a reading also, and she is also connected to angels.
Okay. Diane. Okay.
2022.
Focus on partnership, connections, love, relationships, and anything that involves energies with others. You thrive in joint ventures.
Would you read that one again?
Sure. Focus on partnership, connections, love, relationships, and anything that involves energies with others. You thrive in joint ventures.
Awesome.
What about you? Do you have a card, an angel card for her?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yes, I like angels.
Okay. I was going to say you pull one for her too, but I'll pull one for you. You pull one for Brian. One message for Brian. Okay. Got 525. Release the old, bring in the new. Take each opportunity as a chance for growth. You are transforming to new heights. Bingo. Because you're constantly growing, you're constantly expanding and growing spiritually and in yourself, always learning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, my friend Jason would like a dragon card reading.
Sure. Message of Jason. What is the message of Wow. Heavenly light is upon you. So whatever you feel like doing, whatever you feel like embracing, challenging, go for it, because you're being backed.
Your practice, bud. Embrace the goodness. So my friend Inga would also like a dragon card reading.
Message thing. Okay, hold your ground. So if things are going on in your life where you're facing a challenge and you may be being pushed in a certain direction that you don't want to go, don't do it. Stand firm.
Yeah, what he said. Oh, that is so. I happen to know her. So that is so appropriate. I can't even begin to tell you. Yeah, super crazy. So, let's see. Let me make sure I'm not missing anybody here, Arnie. Yeah, I think we're good. So, can I pull an angel card for you?
Please do.
So, before you do, where do you go? Where do you go when you're shuffling and you're like, what? Where are you?
I go within. I go as deep as I can within myself. And I just ask the question. I try and envision the energy and feel the energy of the person and what's needed for them. And I just try and bring everything from within. You gotta trust in everything inside you.
All right. Normally, I'm like telling you to imagine looking me in the eye. We can actually do that now. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Thanks for doing this, by the way. I really, really appreciate it, man.
I've never done anything like this, Brian. So I'm just letting you know, I trust you and your energy. So that's why.
So it's your virgin experience? Oh, man. I was too nice.
Where I've actually done something live like this to even read.
All right. Do you have a specific question or just one of general?
Just general.
Okay. Shh. One at a time. Words of wisdom for my friend Arnie. Words of wisdom for my friend Arnie. Words of wisdom for my friend Arnie. Don't forget to add the juice. Oh, this is great. Number 46, the angel of the perceiver and revealer. I love that card. All right. There we go. No, that's the wrong one, of course. You know, I just like it could. It's just going to be as sloppy can be tonight, and that's just the way it is, man. Okay, that should be the right one, and it is. There we go. Wow. After, a few days ago, after being deeply hurt and healing, you face the real test. Can you accept an apology? Can you truly forgive and let go? Love with the trust and receptivity of a child, and out of this pleasurable experience, you will be regenerated and renewed. You will emanate that pleasure, and the feeling will be extended to everyone around you. Delays are only a test of your strength and will. Be proactive, not reactive. Just be quiet, still, and center yourself within. When highly anticipated plans are delayed, see it as an opportunity that it will be better next time. Accept the changes. You have been in a downward spiral for too long. Refocus and move towards action. The future is shining brightly. You are living through the breakdown of a relationship which was based on one person protecting or teaching the other. Let go. Experience your grief to heal. Cry and your light will shine again. Liberate your emotions and you will liberate your soul. Dude, these guys are amazing.
That was awesome.
Profound every time. It's like, and I kind of like go back. I've done it so many times now. It's almost like going back. Like they were just so loud, but while I was, there were like 10 of them all like telling me, and I love that. Like that's just one of the things I really love about the show is creating the sacred space. Like really does make an energetic circle and connections between all of us, and reaching out through that and touching energy out there. It's been amazing practice, and I've learned so much about. I've never really done anything on such a large scale. I've done some seminars and webinar kind of things where everybody's connected, like you and I are right now, and that's it's a little weird because it's the computer, but at the same time, like you're still here for me, like I can still connect to you. And when it's just the chat guys and like people that you don't know at all, that was a little challenging at first, and being able to sort of sift through that and find that energy. I just enjoyed it immensely, man. I look forward to it like every Monday night, man. It's not like really a show. Like we've got so many people that are on it and practicing and kind of taking it on that it's more like a practice session and our little personal angel coven. Yeah. So anyway, well, dude, anything else you want to promote? Anything you want to promote? Anything?
And anybody that's going to find me is going to find me if they need me. That's how it works for me. All
right. Well, deep, heartfelt thanks, man. Appreciate you coming on and sharing your world with us. And I love your decks. Like they come from a really beautiful place of heart, and wish you all the continued success with them. And I look forward to seeing the new ones soon. So there you go. As always, hit the like, subscribe, comment, help us out on that. If you're, okay, next week.
Thanks for having me, Brian.
My pleasure, man. And we'll do this again, man. And, I was on Michael's show, his Holding Space show with Minty Mays a couple, 2-3 weeks ago. And we wound up, it was like 2 readers. So like for every question we were both reading and just kind of flipping back and forth. So maybe next time we'll try a little of that too. I had a blast with him. He's
that was a great show.
Yeah. I had super fun. So thank you all for coming and sharing space and time and energy with us. And can't tell you how much I appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you next week. You know, we're going to be on angel number 68 next week of 72. So we're coming to the close of the sequence of the Shem HaMephorish, man. Wow, over a year and a half. So pretty crazy. So until next week, be blessed, keep it in the dock, and don't go sailing for a few more days, and fix stuff. Don't try to start new stuff. Fix stuff, okay? All right. Wow, with absolute gratitude, we close our energetic circle and bid everyone a fond farewell until next week. We thank the angels for their presence, and we look forward to sharing your light again. And with absolute gratitude, infinite unconditional love, and our wish for bliss to the source. Until next week, we close our circle. Be in the light.